Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Tyler here. I'm in my basement office with all my fun stuff ready to list. And I realized something today, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. Obviously, with the stores being closed and people being home with self-isolation with COVID-19 and quarantine, a lot of people are buying stuff online, but even still, resellers have noticed in certain areas a dip in their sales. So one thing I do, and I do it out of almost a necessity, is I still sell locally on Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, and Letgo, and I do porch pickup. I do porch pickup from my house. I can see the transaction, everything. Now, granted, given the situation, every city in North America is experiencing COVID-19 in a different way with a different threshold. Most places are still shut down, and most people are advised to stay home, which I personally would as well advise that you stay home unless you absolutely have to go out. And being able to sell on a local marketplace like this allows me to still stay home because I can just have them come to me, and I would doing porch pickup, zero contact with them. Play it as safe as possible. And again, if you can avoid doing this, then do it and just wait. Like don't bother trying to sell locally. But me as a cleaner, my a lot of my work has closed because I service a lot of retail customers. So a lot of them have shut down. So my work has dropped. So my main source of income has almost disappeared. So I have to sell as much as possible in as many platforms as possible because I need to pay my bills, right? I got a wife and daughter that needs to eat, and I got a roof over our head that I need to pay for, mortgage, and the works, right? So I'm doing it as carefully as I can, and I would advise you to do the same if you absolutely need to. So with the things that I've been selling over the last, I'd say 2 weeks or so, I'm going to share with you five of them that have been selling quite well for me, and they sold rather quickly for a decent amount of money. Now, everything I listed, it didn't take me too long. I didn't take super fancy photos, just a quick snapshot. I threw it up, and they all sold. All five things I'm going to tell you in this video today all sold within 1 hour of me listing them. So it may not have the same effect for you, but it's these kind of things that I've realized that people are itching to buy right now, especially because they're at home. That being said, I mean, there's really two reasons why people would buy these kind of things before I get into it. One, obviously, most of the retail stores are closed, and if they are open, most of them have lineups to get in because they're limiting the amount of people that can go in. I had to go to Walmart to get milk the other day, and I was outside for 25 minutes in line to get in because they're limiting the amount of people that can actually go in and shop at the stores. And I know a lot of other places are doing that as well. So just going out, what normally would be a 15 or 20-minute trip is now taking over an hour. So a lot of people would rather come to more of a direct source for some of these things than to try to go out and go shopping. The second reason is people are bored. People have been stuck at home and cooped up all the time, so people are going to find a way to justify going out of the house if they can do it safely. And going to purchase something for whatever reason is going to give them a little bit of self-satisfaction because they're going to shop, and they're also doing it in a safe way where they're not interacting with anybody. They don't have to interact with cashiers or people being around them because they can drive to one location, get out, get the item, and go. So I find those two things are what are driving a lot of people to be shopping on local marketplaces, allowing me to make my sales. So with that being said, and with me being home for the last couple weeks, it's allowed me to do a lot of reorganizing and cleaning out of my pantry, my laundry room, all sorts of stuff. I've been able to reorganize. I've moved around my office and everything too, so I've been able to clean out a lot of stuff and find a lot of stuff that I don't really need anymore, or I wanted it and I bought it because I had intention on using it in whatever way, and I just didn't. So it's just been collecting dust. So I was able to flip it for some quick cash. And yeah, so here are the five things that I've sold in the last couple weeks for a decent amount of money that I did through local buy and sell with a porch pickup. When it comes to porch pickups, there's a bit of a risk involved. you need to use your own best judgment and your level of trust to determine, one, if porch pickup's right for you, and two, obviously, what it is you are selling. Now, if you want to hang out to the end of this video here, I will go over a couple ways that you can do a porch pickup and receive payment safely, so you're eliminating any point of contact with the buyer, and you're certainly reducing your chance of, getting scammed or stolen from. I also did a video on porch pickup as well. Feel free to check my channel if that's something you were looking at doing or exploring, or maybe you have an issue with it, or you don't trust people in your area. I did do a whole video on porch pickup, so be sure to check that out. Okay, so in no particular order, here's the 5 things that sold very well for me in the last 2 weeks during this pandemic. So, number 1 was musical instruments. If you have any musical instruments lying around your home that you are not playing, maybe you bought them with the good intentions of playing them, maybe you bought them for your kids, and they're just collecting dust now's the time to sell them. I picked up an electric guitar. It was an entry-level guitar. I've always wanted to learn guitar. Never had the time, still can't figure it out to this day, and I picked up an entry-level guitar a couple years ago for like 20 bucks off of Kijiji. I got a steal of a deal on it, and I mean, it just sat, it looked nice to look at for a while, but that was it. So I threw it up on Facebook Marketplace. I gave it a clean, I wiped the dust off it. I was able to tune it, and threw it up on Facebook Marketplace. I sold it within 45 minutes for $100 cash. It was a nice quick flip. It was actually a guy buying it for his son because he plays guitar and he wanted his son to learn and play it with him. So musical instruments, definitely a good thing to flip right now if you have them lying around your home. You can get some pretty good money on it. Just make sure you price it fairly and check the comps. Okay, now number 2, the second thing that I sell quite a lot of online, and local marketplace is no exception, and that's video games. People being home right now, they're going nuts. A lot of gamers want a game. They're beating out everything in their library and they're looking for more stuff, or people are buying up the vintage collections. So if you have a video game system, or your siblings or your kids have video game systems and they have games that are just lying around or collecting dust, if they're not a nostalgic collector where they want to have everything on the shelf, their entire array of collection, if they're not like that and they don't mind getting rid of their games, now's the time to sell them. I mean, sell them on eBay first because you're going to open up to a lot larger market, but local marketplace is still a pretty hot spot for selling video games. If you're selling discs, just make sure that they're not scratched and that they're clean, and the case that it comes with is also clean. Anything with that nature, make sure you just put it in the description. Take a nice clear photo of the game itself and of the disc, and then just detail it what it is. If you have a bunch of games, even over a bunch of different consoles, whether it be Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo's, take one big large photo, create one big listing, and just price out everything individually. Do your comp research online, sell it for a bit less. Just remember that if you were going to sell it on eBay for, 10 bucks, remember that you're going to be putting about 15% away for fees, eBay fees, PayPal fees, and whatnot. So if you leave a little bit of room to negotiate with local marketplace, you could sell it for, or list it for 10, maybe be pleasantly surprised that someone's going to pay you 10 for it, but you could also probably accept 7 or 8 bucks for that same game, and still walk away with about the same as you would with selling it online. So video games, consoles, games, controllers, anything to do with video games right now are selling very, very quickly. So take a look at your house, see if you find anything. Okay, number 3 is clothing. Now, clothing's an avenue that I haven't really gotten into in selling online. I know there's a lot of online resellers, maybe some of you even watching this, who make a killing selling clothes online, whether it be on Poshmark or eBay. Kudos to you guys, you got to figure it out. It's so much work to get that going, and I'm literally looking at 6 storage bins full of clothes that I've bought and I have not had the time. I'm actually a little scared to get into it, to get it listed. But going through my my storage room, I found a bunch of clothing bags of button-down shirts that I used to wear. I don't anymore. They don't fit me anymore. There's a mix of, I was about 25 or 30 of them, short sleeve and long sleeve. A lot of them pretty well-known brands. And I bundled them all together and I just threw them up on Facebook Marketplace. And within an hour, I had someone message me and come and pick it up for 200 bucks for the whole bag. I took a nice big back shot. I folded all of them out nicely. I put them on the floor. I took a nice shot just to show all of them. I made a list, and it was gone just like that. Especially with the clothing stores being closed, even the thrift stores being closed, people who normally updating their wardrobe in the springtime aren't having that luxury of being going out and able to buy, so they're resorting to Poshmark and eBay to buying their clothes, and then even still with local marketplace to save on shipping. So if you have a bunch of clothes in your wardrobe that don't fit you from last year, or they're a style you're not happy with, or you just don't feel comfortable wearing them anymore, throw them on the local marketplace. Try to bundle them together. Taking the time to list an individual shirt is just going to flood the pages and people aren't going to be interested in them. But if you're bundling 5, 10, 20 of one item, someone's going to come and buy them bulk off of you. So clothing, number 3. Okay, so number 4, and this is one that is actually, it's of my wife's. It's arts and crafts supplies. Painting supplies, little home decor stuff. Those are selling pretty well as well, because the craft shops are still closed as well, and there are people who do like to paint. There are people who do like to make little knickknacks and crafts, especially now that people are home and bored and looking for something to do. These certainly can sell quickly, especially if you have an overstock of them. I know my wife made some projects for her home decor business last year, and she had to buy like bags of 30 and 40 of these one items just because she needed like 4 of them or 5 of them for a project. So we had a lot of extras just kind of getting in the way down here. So just bundled them all together, threw them up on the marketplace, and they sold pretty quickly as well. People are itching for crafts because, like I said, they're all looking for something to do. Now, before we get into number 5, a little side note here. Another one that actually sells pretty well, and I'm finding it's selling very well on eBay, but actually is selling pretty well local marketplace as well, that's puzzles. If you have any puzzles, doesn't matter the style, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a scenic, if it's fruit, if it's, fantasy, anything. Puzzles, people are going nuts for puzzles right now because, again, people are looking for stuff to do. Older people are looking for stuff to do, so puzzles. If you have them, sell them. Okay, number 5, and this one was a bit surprising for me, but it makes sense, and which actually this whole number 5 here is what sparked me to make this video for you guys, and that was cleaning chemicals. And no, I'm not talking about hand sanitizer or hand soap or those basic need ones. I'm talking like Febreze and Vim and like carpet cleaners and stuff like that. Going through our cleaning closet, we had a lot of cleaning chemicals that we don't use anymore. Since we had our daughter, my wife switched to all natural cleaning methods with just vinegar and water and a couple other organic things. So we had all this old cleaning chemicals that we just never used. So we pulled them all out, we set them all aside. I went through everything. Anything that was, really low and almost gone, I just recycled and threw them in the old recycling bin. But I ended up finding a whole bunch of brand new containers of bathroom cleaner and, countertop cleaner and just cleaning chemicals, all different types. Some of them were brand new, some of them were like 80% full, some of them I only used like once. So I bundled them all together. I took a photo of them on top of my washing machine, nothing fancy. And there's probably, if you were to go buy everything new in store, it was probably around $25 or $30 worth of cleaning chemicals, because most of them are opened and I didn't really care for them anymore. I was probably just going to chuck them anyways. I threw them up on Facebook Marketplace for $10, and within 5 minutes I had 2 people willing to commit to come and buy them. One wanted to come now and one wanted to come later. So obviously the person who wanted to come now was going to get the buy first, and she was here within 15 minutes. I just put them in a bag, put them on the porch, and away she went. Okay, so now that I've given you 5 things that hopefully will help you find some stuff around your house that you can sell for a quick buck in local marketplaces. Let's talk about how to do that safely and effectively so that you're minimizing risk of obviously exposing yourself to any hazards like COVID-19 to you or your family, or even the buyers that are coming to your home, as well as reducing the risk of people stealing your stuff. So I'm going to break this down into two parts here to help you kind of understand my thoughts and my processes on how I do porch pickup. So before I get into that, I hope you are liking my content. I hope you're liking these videos. I'm kind of just on a ramble tonight. But please let me know what you think in the comments. Hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. It motivates me to make more content to help you guys out with your reselling ventures. And it's totally appreciated. I'm looking for stuff to do. And having been reselling for almost 20 years now, I got a couple things I'd like to share with you. So please, yeah, hit subscribe. Stay tuned. I got all sorts of more stuff coming for you. But anyways, now that's out of the way, there's two ways that we can talk about this. So one is obviously the porch pickup aspect, and two, there's the payment aspect. So with the porch pickup, and not talking about the video that I put earlier, when I sold these cleaning chemicals that I just mentioned, I literally just put it in a bag. I put it on my porch. I shot her a message. I said, hey, it's there. It's on the porch. It's by the chair. Just go get it. It's in a green bag. Just go get it. Put the $10 in the mailbox. She's cool. No problem. And I didn't have to worry about it. My general rule for porch pickup is that if it's usually under 40 or $50, I don't mind blindly leaving it out there. Generally speaking, if I'm selling for something for $40 or $50, I probably didn't pay much for it. And therefore the risk is low that if some passerby really wanted to come and steal it, it's a bit of an inconvenience, but either way, you're not really out too much. Plus, normally I'm in my living room anyways, and I can see when someone comes up to my porch. So that being said, that's the way to do a porch pickup with zero contact. In a bag, on the porch, they put money in the mailbox, they leave, you open the door, you take the money out of the mailbox, you're happy, they're happy, no contact, everything's great. Now, when it came to the clothing and the guitar that I sold earlier this week, I did it a different way. Once I had the buyer commit to me that they were coming to pick it up, I then gave them my address, and then I gave them my cell number. And I said, look, when you get here, stay in your car and call me. So what they did was they got here, they called me, I picked up the phone, and then I went to my front door, I opened the front door, I placed the item directly on the porch, I closed the front door, they got out of the car, they came up, they took the item, they put the money in the mailbox, and they left back to their car. On their way back to their car, when they were about 20 feet away from my front door, I opened my front door, take the money out of the mailbox, just make sure that they paid me, wave them goodbye, close, and off they went. Again, eliminates the risk of me leaving an electric guitar on my front porch for an hour hoping they'd show up on time. And that's the same thing for you as well. Even if it's for a $5 item, if you don't feel comfortable leaving it on your porch for that time frame to wait for them to come get it, just do the same way. Have them call you, just put it out there, do a quick exchange where you guys aren't making any contact with each other and there's a door in between you. Now, if you are in an apartment building or an apartment complex where you have a lobby that's a mutually shared lobby between a lot of people, you can do this in the same kind of way. You just have to keep the physical distancing. Have them come meet you, or pick a central spot. When you're on the phone with them, you will walk over, put it down in that central spot. You will walk back. They will come over, take it, put the money down, walk away. You go back, get your money. Everybody's happy. It's just maintain that physical distance and maintain point of visual contact, and that way, it's going to eliminate the risk of anybody trying to scam or steal from you. It's your level of trust with what you're selling and who you're selling it to, and always keep that in mind. So the second is payment. Most of my payments here were handled by cash. I have done a couple e-transfers. E-transfer is the most safest way to transfer payment. What I like to do with cash to eliminate me from touching it is I will either leave an envelope or a plastic bag in my mailbox and just request that they put it in that bag. And that way when I have the money or when I take the money, I'm not physically touching it. Now, me being in Canada and my money being plastic, I have the luxury that I can actually wash my money in soap and warm water. I'm not going to ruin it. It's still fully usable working currency. But for my neighbors down south in the US of A, you're not going to be so lucky. Either way, though, if you do have to handle the cash, or if they don't put it in the bag or don't put it in an envelope, and you still have to handle the cash, just be sure to be self-conscious of it and wash your hands, obviously, for 20 seconds after you are handling that money. So that's it, guys. That's the 5 things that I find I'm selling quite well with local marketplace in April 2020. I hope you learned something. I hope it has motivated you to find some things around your house that you can sell locally and make a couple extra bucks. And I hope that you're doing okay. I hope you are safe and your family is safe and you are staying healthy. And you stay hustling, okay? Make sure that you follow all the precautions you can. Obviously, with the reselling, if you're selling on eBay, keep doing it, keep at it. It's going to keep going. People are still buying stuff. Stick through it. Sell everything. And we'll see you in the next one, all right? Oh, and before I go, let me know if there's anything else that you guys are finding you're selling locally that are going quickly. I know I got 5 things here. There were a few other things I didn't feel were worth mentioning, but yeah, if you guys know something that is selling quick for you locally, where you can do a safe exchange without any physical contact, let me know in the comments below, okay? Because I'm curious, because I may have some stuff here as well that I'm missing out on. So anyways, that's it for me, guys. I'm going to get listing on eBay. The night is young. I hope you guys have a great night, and we'll see you in the next one, all right? Take care.